What's going on, guys? We're getting close to the rugby league season kicking off, so that means a lot of outlets, a lot of people are giving their end of year predictions, who's going to finish where, and Zero Tackle have just launched theirs, so I wanted to run through it and let's see how they did, sort of thing, and I'll see if I can pick it up. No, I'm just joking. I love Zero Tackle, they're great. But yeah, I'd love to go through this and see what they think and give my thoughts on how everything's sort of going to finish. So they've given a little thing here, but this is the actual list. So they've got Penrith on top, Roosters, Cronulla, Melbourne, North Queensland, South Sydney, Parramatta Eels and Brisbane Broncos into the 8. Manly Sea Eagles, Canberra Raiders, Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, Dolphins at 12th, Tigers 13th, Titans, Newcastle, New Zealand and St George Illawarra. I noticed this last year, and I know this probably happened ages ago, but when did they change from Auckland Warriors to New Zealand Warriors? I really don't remember that ever being a thing. Just all of a sudden it was changed, or was it a big thing and I missed it? I always obviously when they came in they were the Auckland Warriors, but yes. But anyway, let's have a little look-see now, see how we're going, all right, and see what they had to say and their reasoning behind it. So Penrith Panthers, they have to finish on top. I believe that's true too. I just dare say they're going to be the most consistent. They've got the most depth, all that sort of stuff. So even if they have injuries and stuff, which every team sort of does, I really do think they'll have the the depth to at least cover the position sort of thing. Sydney Roosters second. I do agree that they'll probably be the second best team in the comp. However, I just feel they're going to finish a little bit lower. The Roosters are really, I don't know, they've just been unlucky. A lot of it's luck, but they've just got a lot of head knocks, a lot of, their health and safety protocols are very strict and stuff like that. So I don't know. I have them finishing a little bit lower, like 5th or 4th, but not because they're the 4th or 5th best team. I just feel like they might get a little unlucky again, or hopefully they can stay healthy for the full season, because they haven't been able to stay healthy for about 3 years. So we'll see how they sort of go. Cronulla Sharks in third. I actually had them slipping way down, but if we have a look at the strength of schedule, they've got a pretty easy run. They only play top 8 teams 10 times. So I definitely think they could finish pretty damn high again. I don't know about third though, but I think they're going to be in the 8th for sure. If I had to pick, I'd probably say 6th-ish. Melbourne Storm. This is the one team I have no idea about. From how much they've lost, I'm like, yeah, they should really drop dramatically. Pappy's out for a little bit. We're not too sure how long he's going to be and whether he's going to be the same player. He really relied on his speed, and Melbourne struggled to score when he wasn't there. They don't have much strike outside of him. Don't know what's happened to Coates. He just doesn't seem to have that same impact he used to. And but yeah, fingers crossed they have a pretty solid season. But I don't know. I don't quite have them 4th. Now, North Queensland Cowboys, I had them similar to Sharks. I thought they were going to slip down a little bit again, but I don't know. Looking at this again, they're only playing 10 top 8 teams. They're going to knock off those teams that don't travel well up to North Queensland and stuff like that. So I dare say they're going to finish relatively deep in the 8 as well. So I don't mind that at all. Bunnies similar to Roosters. I think they're better. I'd probably have them up a little bit, especially if Trell stays fit. They've got pretty much the same team as last year, other than Nichols, and they lost someone else who was just a role player. So I dare say they're going to be in the mix as well. I'd probably put them up a little bit higher than 6th. Parramatta Eels, look, that is probably about right. I think they're definitely going to make the 8 again. I know they lost a lot of talent, but they picked up a lot of talent as well. So I have them sort of 5th or 6th, maybe 7th sort of thing. But we'll have to see. But I pretty much have the top 8 the same as last year, just jumbled around a little bit. I don't think we're going to see a new team crack into the finals this year. Brisbane Broncos, ignore what Selwyn Cobbo said. Brisbane will be competitive under Kevin Walters in 2023. I completely disagree. There's talks now that Selwyn Cobbo is going to be sanctioned and probably miss a game or two. I don't think Kevin Walters is a good coach at all. Respect, love the guy, he's amazing, but I think he should be there more as a mentor figure. I've been saying he's a bad coach for quite some time. Not a bad coach like he's a bad dude, just some of the stuff he does. I've been saying it for a long time. I think Payne Haas is overplayed. You meant to blood young props in. He just blasted him with 80-minute games regularly. I mean, why is your premier prop playing still in the game when he hasn't had a break, 65 minutes in? when you're down by 24 points or something like that. Like, give the dude a rest. He had 2 blown AC joints. His ankles are blown. You're going to ruin what arguably one of the best props in the game. For what? Like, take him off. Give him a rest. Why is a prop playing 70 minutes a game? Just because he can doesn't mean he should. You know what I mean? And I don't like the way he plays Katoni Staggs. And that was one of the biggest implosions we've ever seen last year. Broncos, they worked it out when they were coming in 4th or 5th or whatever it was, with about 6 weeks to go. It was actually nearly impossible for them to fall out of the 8. Like, everything had to go wrong for that to happen, and it did. And it was literally nearly impossible for that to happen, and it did. And so that's not good, man. Manly's one of these funny ones. Manly could crack 8th, but I don't think they will. But they could also finish 16th or 15th. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see with them. I'm not willing to pick where they're going to land just because I just have no idea. It just really depends on the turbo, the Serbian stallion. Canberra Raiders finished 10th. I strongly disagree with this. I think they'll be playing finals footy again. They have the easiest schedule by an absolute mile. They're only playing 8 top 8 teams. They play each top 8 team once. That means they're going to play the Dragons twice, the Knights twice, the Dolphins twice, the Warriors twice. All these teams that are really, really easy. I mean, look at this. So to finish in the top 8, this is the top 8 last year, 30 points. So 24 points you have to accumulate through games, which is 12 games. You tell me, this is their schedule. You can tell me right now there's going to be 12 games here they can win. They start off a little tough. They've got Cowboys, Raiders, Sharks. But then look who they've got. They've got Dragons, Raiders, Sea Eagles, West Tigers. Then they've got the Roosters, tough game. Then they've got Dragons, Knights, Storm, which they're pretty solid against. Broncos, they'll wipe them in Canberra. Knights again, Broncos again, Dolphins again. Tell me there's not 12 games out of here that they can win. I've actually got them. I think they could push for the top 4. You know what I mean? So, and then look how it finishes. You know what I mean? This is how their run home goes. Titans, they're going to win that. Warriors, they're going to win that. West Tigers, very confidently say they're going to win that. Not definite, but probably. Bulldogs, probably going to win that. And then they've got Sharkies. There's another game they can win easily. So, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they could get 12 points right here, just on this little run home, and they've got all these games just to win 6. And they always come home strong too. So I don't see how the Raiders miss the 8. Personally, I don't see how they finish down that far. Canterbury, yeah, I think Canterbury will be in this 11th to sort of 9th push. I'm excited to see them play. I just can't wait to see them play. Dolphins, absolutely no chance of finishing this high. They've got an old forward pack and inexperienced everywhere else. I just don't see how it can happen. Let's have a look. Let's see how they go. So they're going to lose to the Roosters. Knights, they could possibly win. Dragons, they could possibly win. Loss. In Warriors, in New Zealand, nut loss. Eels, nut loss. I don't see how they win more than 3 games here. I don't see more than 3 games here. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong, but I just don't see them finishing higher than the West Tigers and the Titans and Newcastle. I just don't see it. Origin, full of Origin players. You know what I mean? It's just no chance. Few Origin players in the Titans as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't see that happening. 13 West Tigers. I hope they finish higher. A lot of high hopes for them last year, but the 13th to 11th probably is where they will finish. But I'd love to be proven wrong, put it that way. Gold Coast, the Titans should be really fearful. The NRL knows that it will function with a 16-man team competition. Okay, so they're saying that there'll possibly be a dropout of a team. That's definitely a thing. I personally think the Dolphins are only going to get dropped in a few years' time. I don't see them winning many games over the next few years, and with no fan base and no real home city, they're just called the Dolphins. They're not even the Brisbane Dolphins, the Redcliffe Dolphins. They don't really have a home. I don't see how they're going to stay a team, but we'll have to wait and see. Newcastle Knights, look, I don't see them doing too much better than this. Kalen Ponga going to be in. He's already injured. His season hasn't even started. He's on like 1.3 million or something silly like that. His chin's gone to glass. He's playing in the halves now, more likely to get knocked out and miss more time. I don't see the Knights finishing much higher than 15th. New Zealand Warriors, actually probably would have them above Newcastle. They're finally home. They've actually recruited okay. I don't mind a few of the players they got. They got rid of Reece Walsh, who's an error machine. They're back home in front of New Zealand. They're going to beat, not a lot of teams. They're going to beat some more teams just by having a home ground advantage. You know what I mean? They're going to get up for their fans a little bit more. Remember, they've had 2 years of just no home games. You know what I mean? They've been on the road the whole time, living out of suitcases and stuff like that. So, you know, they'll beat some teams that don't travel well and don't like playing in those cold, wintry nights. Maybe the Cowboys, that'll be a climate change for them. But yeah, I see them picking up more games than last year and having a slightly better record than they did last year. And then we have the Dragons. I do have Dolphins wooden spoon, but I tell you what, the Dragons aren't far behind, and I completely agree with everything they're saying here. Totally mismanaged salary cap. I just don't like how the team's put together. Their best player he's an error machine, like he's a freak. But you know what I mean, when your best players lead in the league in errors. I mean, not Ben Hunt, but you know, like second best player, I guess. But Ben Hunt's great, but I do think he's slightly overrated. I don't think he can carry a team any higher than 16th, sort of thing. So, and that young fellow, I can't remember his name, that just got charged with grievous bodily harm. I dare say he's going to be stood down. So not looking good, man. Really not looking good. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, guys. But that's pretty much it. But there's not too much wrong here. Like I said, it's pretty bang on. And even if they don't have them exactly where I'm saying, so pretty much I'd drop the Broncos out, put Canberra Raiders in. Yeah, I don't know if maybe these guys are Brisbane fans, but yeah, I don't see how Broncos fit in there when they're got a lot going on, man. And even with Payne Haas, his stuff, I mean, it's going to be hard for him to have his head in footy when he's got, you know, his mum's in a bad way and, you know, his mum's essentially facing a murder charge and, you know what I mean, then he's got to go to training and play footy at a high level. It's going to be tough, man. It's a tough ask for him on the poor young lad. But my love goes, you know, shout out to him and his family. I hope they're, except for her. But yeah, shout out to, you know, the whole Haas family. It's never nice to watch a family member self-destruct like that. It's pretty horrible. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. So let me know what you guys think of this one. I don't think they're too far off the money here. Like I said, only one major change I'd make with the top 8 and drop Brisbane out and put Canberra Raiders in. And drop the Dolphins to the bottom there, and then you pretty much bang on 0 tackle. Good work. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.